So this is actually our second run of doing the voiceover because, well, I'm a goof. Didn't check my settings beforehand. Anyway, here we are with a Mr. Mime run of Red in the mold of Jrose11 challenges. I've been watching him and MahDryBread rather frequently. Speaking of which, I named my rival MDB. And it got me to wanting to do a Gen 1 run again. So here we are. So as you see on the left-hand side of the screen, we have our level up moveset and our base stats. Now remember, Special was determined for both special attack and special defense in Gen 1. So that's why there's a black bar above the special defense stat, because Mr. Mime's special was at base 100. Back in Gen 1, our level up moves, kinda garbo, and we don't have the best TM selection, but instantly at first glance, Thunderbolt is definitely going to be on the set. Now, definitely eyeing up Toxic, because we're going to need it against future Alakazams. Now, one thing I did because I used the Universal Randomizer to replace Squirtle as our starter, because whether or not you go against Charizard or Blastoise, you have Thunderbolt, which is super effective, and Psychic is super effective against Venusaur. But if you go against either, I do believe it's against either Blastoise or Charizard, they'll have both Executor and Alakazam. So that makes things a little difficult for us. But overall, it shouldn't be too much of a problem I'm foreseeing, but, you know, as we all know things in hindsight, we'll get to that later. But anyway, I also decided right around actually here that I was going to attempt this run at minimum battles, because, you know, I could just battle everything along my whole entire way. Now granted, yes, that would add time to the run, which I had a lot of time just because of really dumb mistakes, like forgetting repels before Rock Tunnel, forgetting the bike in Cerulean once I get to like Erica and whatnot. But all of that notwithstanding, I found this to actually to be kind of too easy at some points. But yes, there was still enough challenge. So big notable things here is that, again, we are doing this at minimum battles, so that we don't have the benefit of a lot of experience points, mostly because of my own choosing. I actually forgot to pick up the potion right here. That's right in front of the bug catcher, so, you know, kind of happens that way sometimes. So now, going into Brock, I'm thinking, okay, we have base 100 special. Both of Brock's Pokemon don't have good special, really. We should be good. And over here, I'm going to go buy Pokeballs and stuff, because I do need them for the HM Mons that we're going to pick up later. Which, in case you were wondering, were Spearow, Paris, and then the gift Lapras later on. So here we are, first attempt at Brock. I'm feeling confident I can rock this at level 6. And not so much. So Geodude, it's all 3 of his tackles to take us out in 3 hits. And as you saw on our end, Confusion looked to be a 4-shot against Brock. I should have saved after or before the first fight with Brock. That would have been a time save there, but Didn't work out that way. So I set up 2 barriers here to kind of keep me in the fight just a little longer. Our first confusion crits. That just is still a 4-hit KO with confusion. But we do jump till level 8, which we see Screech, good. Bide, not so much. But Bide doesn't have boosted priority in Gen 1 like it does later on. So therefore, Onyx ends up becoming a 4-shot before it can even hit me with Bide. Because I do believe that was a 3-turn Bide. So it is on to rival number 2. So I decide to do rival 2 and 3 before Misty, as I go to grab the rare candy when I can find it. There we go. That took unnecessarily long, but I got smacked around by rival 2. So I'm like, you know what, let's do the mandatory trainer in Misty's gym first. We did get the confusion on the Goldeen, and then 2 more hits later, we end up defeating that first trainer in Misty's gym. By the way, I do not script my videos. I find reading from a script to be not as genuine as just raw recap. So, first, rival 2, we have a problem. Or is that... No, that's rival 3. I'm getting rival 3 and rival 2 mixed up. So, keep in mind, I don't heal between doing rival 2 all the way through rival 3. So, rival 2, yeah, I mean, if we had a few more levels, that probably would have been trivial, but, you know, I was determined to do this at minimum battles. So now we are at rival number 3, and here's where that point about not healing comes to bite me in the ass. So, we're going over here, we're at rival 3. Take a note of my power points at this level. I have 10 confusions to last me 4 Pokemon. Especially with Kadabra coming up, which is going to take 5 hits to KO. Now, had I not been so dead set on minimum battles, this would have been the point where I would have grabbed Body Slam, because it does have that paralyzed chance. Mostly just to get past MDB's Kadabra. You know, and at this point I'm just trying to burn PP. You know, maybe he won't actually attack me again. And he attacked me again. So, I try, after healing, after the Rocket and Cerulean, I did actually take a stab at Misty before coming to do Rival 3, and no, it wasn't happening. So we get undisabled right away, which is actually kind of nice. And we get 2 confusion hits, making him a 3-hit KO rather than a 5. We get our light screen, and then Charmeleon is a 3-hit KO. I think the second hit might have been a range. I'm not sure, but it's on to Lieutenant Surge from here. And, no, actually Misty. I forgot about Misty again. This is what happens when you live recap things rather than script them. So, Staryu is a 2-hit. We did actually set Thunder Wave, so that way we'd outspeed the Starmie. Bubble Beams brought us down. We also used the light screen here. Now, Starmie got us only down to 7 hit points, but 2 confusion hits followed by 3 confusions from there sealed the deal. And now it is time for Lieutenant Surge. So, the problem we had here was Voltorb using Sonic Boom, which, as you know, is a set damage move. Does 20 damage right off rip. He used X Speed, then the Sonic Boom. And he'll use X Speed again on the Pikachu to outspeed me. It only did 4 points of damage, but that was enough the Raichu, take us out with one Thunderbolt and one Thunder Shock before we could really make a dent into Raichu at all. So now, hopefully we don't see Sonic Boom, but let's find out if that happens. So, end up getting the confusion, he hits a Screech, and then we're on to Pikachu from there. We did get paralyzed though, then an X-Speed, but Pikachu's still a 2-shot at our current level. Raichu's Growl, then an X-Speed, then we got the confusion hit, then a confusion from us, taking out the Raichu. We did get quite a bit of confusion luck. We also did get the Thunderbolt TM. Now, instead of going to do Giovanni first, I decided to do rival number 4 to test my luck here. So one Thunderbolt takes out Pidgeotto and executes a 3-hit with Thunderbolt. Now, he does have Gyarados at this point, but Water Onix, you know, be Water Onix. But then I decided to go for Confusion, which, looking back on it, Thunderbolt would have been the better play, because Thunderbolt's not resisted. Me being a goof, I went for Stab move. Charmeleon being a 2-hitter, but then that leads us to Giovanni's first appearance, which was about as easy as you'd think it would. I did manage to... I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. Kang was a 2-hit, which was surprising. But either way, go do Pokemon Tower, come back, do Erica. We cut through Saffron to get Psychic, which Psychic was a crit on the Victory Bell. It's a 2-shot on Tangela, and then a 1-shot on Vileplume. I don't think the crit mattered on Victory Bell per se. So there we have it, 4 badges. Now, realistically, I could go do Rival Fivel right now, but I opt instead, as I foolishly tried to dig out of Celadon Gym from there, I decided to do Koga first. Because Koga has something very important that we're going to need in this run, that being the TM for Toxic. Now, Toxic we need for anytime we come across Alakazam. Because at this point, Alakazams in the game are going to have Recover. And they have good AI, which we'll see in the Sabrina fight later on. They will probably spam Recover. So having Toxic is going to be an absolute necessity. By the way, the 2 Coughings were 1-shots, which you've already seen, and then Muck and Weezing were both 2-shots. But now we go to Rival Fivel. And yes, because we're kind of following Jrose's format, again, go sub to Jrose if you haven't. That dude, love that guy. That's a good dude. Anyway, 2 hits on the Pidgeot, and then we got the Toxic off, yes, but a Stun Spore. Ugh, gross. But Thunderbolt combined with Toxic gets the job done. And now we're on Water Onix, and then the crit did not matter. And now we have to he disables Toxic. Literally, I think like 3 turns later, we did get a full paralyze, but we ended up not needing Toxic because that is that. And I think that Charizard got crit. But either way, I got my own head out of my ass and started using Thunderbolt on the Alakazams. So now we're up against Giovanni. It's one-stop shopping here. 4 Psychics gets us through. Giovanni in the second 2 fights were it was a pushover. Let's keep it simple. So then we move ourselves on to Blaine, which actually took 2 attempts at 3 hours and 15 minutes in game time. I thought I could do better. And again, there was a lot of really dumb time loss mistakes made in this run. like supremely dumb, but you know, it's kind of like a first attempt at this kind of a run, so I went with it. Now, the reason why we had to do 2 is he landed Fire Blast. He misses Fire Blast, we win. So we go do Blaine again. I opened the menu for some reason, I don't remember why, but we end up using Psychic on the Growlithe because we used Thunderbolt at first, which Psychic ends up doing more damage. And then we got 2 shots on the Ponyta. Rapidash does hit Fire Spin, which hits for 3 turns. But it's a 2-shot regardless. Arcanine is a 3-shot in this case because he used Roar twice. So it's just like, oh, okay. But we have the boosted special. That's why I went to Blaine before Sabrina. So speaking of Sabrina, here we are at 3 hours and 20 minutes of in-game time. So Sabrina was not as hard as I thought she was going to be. So Toxic to Kadabra, which we really didn't need to do, if we're being honest. As you see the damage Thunderbolt did, we probably could have got away with a 3-shot with Thunderbolt, or without the Toxic, but hey. 2-shot on the Mr. Mime with Thunderbolt, 1-shot with Psychic, and then me being a goof, and kind of forgetting the whole Toxic strat, then I decided to remember it. Finally hit the Toxic because all he's going to do is spam recover. So at this point, we just gotta stall out. Because again, Alakazam's not going to hit us here because of the AI that Sabrina has. So a mixture of Thunderbolt and Toxic get the job done. And now it's on to the final gym, Mr. Giovanni, who is an absolute pushover for an 8th gym leader. Let's see here. 1-shot. Nope, the Growl boosting us with the badge boost. 1-shot. Another 1-shot. Get up out. You got nothing on me. Crit 1-shot. Though the crit probably didn't matter. However, Rhydon was a 2-shot. But then he used a guard special anyway, so... And now, here we are at Rhydon number 2. I did have to resort to using Double Team. Because, let's face it, we did get bopped a couple of times by Rival 6 here. Because he sent 1 Double Team, he uses Whirlwind. Thunderbolt at this point does not 1-shot the Pidgeot. So he's a 2-shot there. We set up a 2nd Double Team and get a Tail Whip to further badge boost. So Rhyhorn, Trivial, Thunderbolt, takes me to just about half. So Thunderbolt's going to be a 3-hit KO and execute. And we're trying to learn Substitute, but now we don't have any badge boosts anymore, but we still get the benefits of Double Team. So Thunderbolt 1-shots Water Onix. And then we have Alakazam again. Got the poison up. Keeps missing because of our Double Teams. Now, I didn't want to resort to Double Team if he got, if Mr. Mime got, Agility or something. I would have rathered that to set up Badge Boost, but at any rate, Charizard's a 2-hit. The crit probably would have mattered on the first shot, but not the second one. But now, as good as this run has been feeling to this point, it's not gonna feel that much greater. Hindsight, I probably could have kept Thunder Wave after, but at the same time though, Toxic was kind of required to get past Sabrina. If I didn't Toxic Sabrina's Alakazam, I probably would have tried to Thunder Wave it, but then you still get the option of it hitting. So, this is before doing the rare candy roundup. This is the farthest attempt we got, and that's, now keep in mind, we are still at minimum battles at this point. set up a couple of double teams on the Dugong, because we are going to need them. Cloister is a one-shot. Thunderbolt. I think that might have been a range on the Slowbro. I didn't do any like damage calcs or anything, but previous experience, it could one-shot the Slowbro. Jinx is a two-shot here. Now that Blizzard miss and but then he hits Blizzard there. 3-shot of Thunderbolt onto the Lapras, and then we are moving on. But Bruno does not pose a challenge at all. Like, Bruno's an absolute pushover, man. So basically, let me run it down for you, because it's going to be really tricky. Mr. Mime one-shots his entire team with the possible exception of Machamp. Because I'm pretty sure Machamp is a range with Psychic at this level. Which, by the way, is level 50. Well, yes, Psychic is a range on Machamp, but now Agatha. I lost many an attempt at the Elite Four at Agatha, which, by the way, I did not save at all between Elite Four members, which is part of the Jrose mode, because obviously it goes only use the designated Mon, no items in battle, no glitches outside of badge boost, and no saving between Elite Four members. Pretty basic setup, which also makes it a lot harder. So I end up having a relatively decent time with Agatha in this case. Not all of the runs were like this, though. There was a lot of times where I wouldn't get past the second Gengar. Now, up to this point, this is the farthest we've gotten in the entire run so far. And I made a very crucial error here. So we end up Thunderbolting Water Onix, critical hit or not, that probably would have been a one-shot. I'm a goof. Or no, I'm getting ahead of myself. Because of the fact that Psychic didn't one-shot, Hyper Beam did. You're seeing this random battle right now. And that's because I'm doing a rare candy roundup at this point. I encountered this last in Mount Moon, and I didn't reset because I didn't know when the last time I saved was. So it's no longer minimum battles, but on to the final run. We set up, I think that was 2 double teams, but that was a crit, so it didn't matter. Cloister, as we knew, was a one-shot with Thunderbolt. Slowbro still remains 2-shot. I still think it might have been a range. Thunderbolt is a 2-shot on... Well, normally it's 2-shot, but it was a 3-shot in this case. The second hit was a range. We got the Paralyze on Lapras, making him a 2-shot, and moving on to Bruno, which, again, Bruno never gave us any problems at all. Complete pushover, as you're going to see in this attempt at Bruno here, which is, again, Psychics for everybody. There's 1, there's 2, buckle my shoe, 3, 4, you ain't got shit. Okay, that didn't rhyme, but hey, close enough. But Psychic was a one-shot on the Machamp there, which, up until this point, Psychic didn't always one-shot. Like, it was a range to do so, but it never always did. And now, at this point, I had used all the rare candies I had gathered up until this particular point here. So we get to Gengar, he misses Nightshade, hits the Hypno though, misses Confuse Ray, we wake up, he goes for Dream Theater, misses, because obviously I'm not asleep anymore, and then we get the one-shot with Psychic. Thunderbolt one-shots the Golbat, and then we proceed to sweep from there. Now, the Gengar number 2, ooh, that could have been a range, but he does hit. We end up hitting ourselves. He goes for Dream Theater. Dream Eater, I'm sorry. I was thinking rock music for a minute. Honey, get down, please. My dog's trying to jump up here. But anyway, so we elixir up. Because we only elixired after Agatha and Lance. So that way we'd be good for MDB at the end, or in this case, but in some cases blue. So now this is the attempt, and I think it's going to get us the dub. We set up 2 double teams against Gyarados, which blows Onyx back with the Thunderbolt. I'm a goof and used Thunderbolt instead of Psychic. There, no, correct that mistake, but Psychic is still a 2-shot on the Dragonair, which makes me worried about Dragonite when we get that far. Thunderbolt 1-shots the Aerodactyl, which, yes, that thing scares me. He misses the slam because of our double teams, 2 shots of Psychic. Get us on to our first shot at the champion. In any of the runs, we would usually either lose to Lorelei or Agatha. There was a couple of times we got to Lance, but we never got to the champion until now. Will it be the only champion attempt? Well, let's find out. So, leads the Pidgeot. We set up a double team, and then he mirror moves our double team, of which we set up a second one. Wing attack missed, thank God. Thunderbolt hits, 1-shots the Pidgeot. Now Alakazam, we set up Toxic right away. Obviously he's going to go for Recover there. And I'm like, you know what? I don't feel safe. I'm going to set up a 3rd double team, which takes it to about half health on the ensuing Thunderbolt. And then 2 shots later, he is down. Now Rhydon, I'm thinking is a 1-shot, and it's not. Even with 3 double teams up for badge boost, Rhydon still isn't a 1-hit KO. So we end up toxicking the Executor, which he ends up getting a crit barrage. We're now down to 61 points of health. And a 2-hit barrage takes us to 47. Psychic hits its crit, so doesn't apply the badge boosts there. And then we level up going into Water Onyx. 1 Thunderbolt does the job. Now the Charizard. Are we gonna seal it? Thunderbolt goes up. It's a crit. We win. And there goes the battle. Overall, I'd say this was a really fun run. I made a lot of really dumb mistakes and time loss, as I said previously, and ended up doing that extra battle. Kind of makes me sad a little bit. I did do attempts at the Elite Four with that extra battle, because I had saved after that, and it didn't make a dent into our EXP, because we still leveled up at the same spots we would have leveled up at if we didn't do that battle. But here we are, at level 59, 5 hours and 1 minute of in-game time. We complete the champion battle. Overall, this is a good run. I don't know what mon I'm going to do next yet, but one run I am planning right now, and I think it'll be the next one now that we're thinking about it, will be Raichu. It doesn't get level up moves. That's going to be fun. Good day, goodbye, good night.